Speedrunning this game is just so much fun, you guys. Do you ever have so much fun doing something it makes you want to like tear what is left of your hair out that it's so much fucking fun? No, I mean, I'm joking. It is fun in a sense. Not the traditional sense, but in the sense that I keep doing it for some reason and I can't quite work out why. But fun or not, I've recently achieved the world record in Suikoden 1 HD Remaster. Normal difficulty, so everything has the same amount of health it had in the original, any percent. So we're not recruiting all 108 and getting the best ending, we're just ignoring as much as we can and going through the game as fast as we can. Before I did so, the world record was held by Seaglance at 2 hours, 49 minutes and 24 seconds. My personal best time was 2 hours, 49 minutes and 43 seconds. 19 seconds off. And you gotta think, in a run that's nearly 3 hours long, there's gotta comfortably be 19 seconds of time save available there, right? And yeah, there is. Easily. It was easy. Now, I've been speedrunning this game for years. Obviously, the remasters have only just come out, but I was speedrunning the original for a long time before that, and the original speedrun makes heavy use of RNG manipulation. So any random events in the game, we can control very precisely. A lot of it is very skill-based. It requires some really precise movement, and if you mess it up, that's a skill issue. That's on you. And then the remasters came out, and speedrunning these is a different beast entirely. All the RNG manipulation is gone, and there's still some skill-based stuff, obviously, as there is in every speedrun. You gotta plan out your route, you gotta plan out which party members you're bringing to where, and where you're doing what menus, and what runes you're putting on who and when, and how you're fighting the boss fights and stuff like that. The main skill that's involved in running the remaster is in the planning out of your route and then throwing enough runs at the wall until you get good enough luck on all the horrible RNG checks. Yeah, we'll come to that. First of which is Magician's Island and fighting the golem. In the original, we went out to the world map and RNG manipulated a holy crystal drop so that we can get the dash speed nice and early, but the remaster's done away with that. You can dash from the beginning and the holy crystal's been removed. So we go straight to Magician's Island, where we take 1 or 2 fights, level up to level 2, and charge at the golem and throw some unites and attacks at it until we beat it. You'll get there in 2 turns. And so that's not really much of an RNG check, but when you get to the point where you've brought your PB down quite a bit and you're really hoping to get like the god run, if you don't get really good luck in the early game, you tend to not want to throw another 2.5 hours at it. So I actually ended up doing a fair amount of resetting after Magician's Island, after not getting good encounters, having a bad golem fight. Gremio had a horrible habit of dying on Magician's Island, which messes with things later because he's then really weak when you do the next sections and continues to die, and it's the whole thing. Now, you want to be level 5 by the time you reach Varkas and Sidonia, and so depending on the fights you got on Magician's Island, you probably will need to take another encounter to boost your EXP up a little bit so that you get level 5 off of the 5 bandit fight before the Varkas and Sidonia fight. So with that in mind, we run up Mount Seifu, we hit the Queen Ant, and the thing about the Queen Ant is, it ends after 3 turns, but if you die on turns 1 or 2, you get a game over. You have to survive turns 1 and 2, and then you can party wipe at the end of turn 3, that's fine. And so if the Queen Ant does this spell, Voice of Earth, you then have to use a medicine on someone to make sure that someone survives to the end of turn 3. So that's pretty annoying. But anyway, you get to the 5 bandit fight, and now previously I had versions of this fight where I would do auto for 1 turn and have them attack whoever they attack, and then in turn 2 use some medicines to try and make sure everyone's nice and topped up for going into the Varkas and Sidonia fight that happens immediately afterwards. But that was too slow. It got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to let the auto run for this fight until all the bandits are gone. And sometimes that's going to mean we die in the Varkas and Sidonia fight, but not always. Sometimes it'll mean we get through them both on a really great time. And then the Varkas and Sidonia fight, depending on how low people's health is after the 5 bandit fight, is pretty straightforward. You throw a unite attack at Sidonia and 1 arrow from Ted. You throw a flaming arrows from Cleo at Varkas, and you have McDowell either defend if no one's too hurt, or throw a medicine on himself or Pan or Gremio if they're hurt, and hope that Sidonia doesn't kill them before he can get it off. Anyway, we deal with them in 2 turns, and what I consider to be the first of the major RNG checks is Cleo's magic. The magic threshold we're looking for is 41, because at 41 magic, that's where she gets her first level 2 spell, which is Firestorm. And if she doesn't get that, when we fight the soldiers in Grady's mansion a bit later on, we've got no way of dealing with the big group of 6, and so she has to just like use a flaming arrows on the commander and then have everyone else just throw attacks until they die. And that can easily lose 40 seconds to a minute, which for the level of run I'm aiming for is unacceptable. Towards the later stages of grinding for a good run, I tended to just reset if Cleo's magic was less than 41. And the odds of that happening are about a coin flip, pretty much 50-50. But occasionally, all the stars will align and you'll get a run that starts like this. Now, please, Ted outspeed, thank you. That's a gold, and Cleo did get her magic. Beautiful gold on Vargas and Sidonia, 50 seconds clear of my PB, so currently on world record pace. Cleo has the magic she needs. Good stuff. You then just mash dialogue through all the big story stuff that happens until the next thing, which is when you go and rescue Vargas and Sidonia from Grady's Manor. And like I said, this is where if Cleo hasn't met that magic threshold, she doesn't have her level 2 spell, you're losing a bunch of time. So we fight the soldiers, we firestorm the big group, rescue the bandits, leave Rockland. And now we arrive at what has come to be known as the snail gauntlet, which it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Mount Tiger Wolf, right? Got Odessa in your party and you're running up to Saradi to go and deliver Fire Spear plans or whatever the hell. This run up Mount Tiger Wolf was one of the things that, again, in the original, and this applies to pretty much all of these RNG checks, by the way, in the original we can plan out meticulously because we know exactly where in the RNG sequence we are, so we know what encounters we're going to see, whether we can run from them or not. No such thing as that in this game, so you just have to run and hope. Now the slimes and the rabbit fights, we can let go those, which means you can automatically escape from the fight, and that's fine. The snails, on the other hand, were not high enough level to have that let go option, and so you've just got to try and run. And sometimes, despite the fact that they are literally snails, and there's often literally just one of them, we will fail to escape several times. In an event that has come to be known as the single snail surround. And it's actually proved surprisingly difficult to get a run through Mount Tiger Wolf, through the snail gauntlet, without falling victim to the single snail surround, or the double snail surround. And so after the Golem and then Vargas and Sidonia, where you're hoping that the 5-bandit fight before it just kind of goes well enough for you to survive against Vargas and Sidonia, and that Cleo gets the coin flip magic threshold, you've then got this mountain that you have to run over where snails can literally surround you and prevent you from progressing, and it's rather annoying. But we have not yet come to any of the biggest RNG checks in the game. But we're about to. So this run that I'm showing you clips from seems to be going quite well. We're about 30 seconds ahead of PB, and we only need 19 seconds to get world record, so we're technically on world record pace right now. We just need to keep this pace going, right? Well, we're about to hit 3 RNG checks, which I have dubbed the Big 3. The first of which is a big level up fight. We're going to access an area early, find a big fight to level up our party. Now you might say, well, can we just skip that and go in at the level we are? Well, you could, but then you'd be missing a lot of magic on Cleo for the zombie dragon fight, and that fight would then just drag on. You'd probably wipe to that fight a lot of the time. It would drag on for minutes and minutes. You wouldn't be able to let go the fights, the encounters that you see in Toran Castle or in Lepant's Manor, and so you'd be risking failed runs there and possibly wiping because the enemies are tough. It's been explored as an idea. It's not really viable to skip this level up fight. And so we go to Great Forest, well ahead of when we should actually be there, go into the forest itself, and run around until a group of 6 kobolds presents itself. This is the first of the Big 3. And honestly, this is where so many runs die. There is such a big encounter table in the Great Forest. There are like 7 or 8 different encounter groups you can get here, and so every time you get an encounter, it's a 1 in 7 or 8 chance of you getting this group of 6 kobolds. And sometimes the game simply will not give you it, and you will spend 2 or 3 minutes running around forcing encounters looking for this thing. Again, all RNG manipulation is gone, so we just have to run around forcing encounters until we see the one we want. And sometimes you get lucky and it happens quickly, and sometimes you get unlucky and your run dies here. Now, something else that we manipulate very precisely in the original that I've mentioned a couple of times is Cleo's magic. I've mentioned that we're hoping to hit at least 41 off of Vargas and Sidonia, and that's so she hits the threshold of getting 1 level 2 spell by the time she needs to use it on the Grady's Manor soldiers. There's another threshold here that we hit in the original because we are able to manipulate the fights that we take such that Cleo gets good magic growths, but just leaving it up to random chance, it is so unlikely that she hits this threshold that it's basically never going to happen. And that is the threshold of 91 magic. Now that's important because that's the threshold at which she would get 2 level 3 spells. So that would mean that at the zombie dragon fight, she has 2 lots of dancing flames. Now, the zombie dragon's weak to fire, and the dancing flames do 830 odd damage to it, which at this stage of the game is huge, and having an additional one of those would be an automatic gold, automatic best time ever on Zombie Dragon. But we did some maths, and by we, I mean I didn't trust myself to do the maths, so I asked ChatGPT to do it. I don't really trust ChatGPT either, so I asked someone in chat who's good at maths to do it. Best consensus I've got is for her reaching this threshold. By the time she's level 22, the chances of her magic stat being at 91 are about 2.3-ish%. So you can't rely on that. You have to just accept that that's not going to happen. So a lot of runs get screwed at kobolds, but if you hit kobolds reasonably quickly, you blast them all with Firestorm, you rest at the end to restore your magic, and then you move on immediately to the second of the big three, which is maybe the most infamous, Tai-Ho and his dice game. Now, surprisingly, I find this the least problematic of the big three. He can kill runs. For sure, he can kill runs, and again, in the original, we manipulate him, and it's one of the trickiest, most skill-based, precise manips in the run of the original. But again, all that manipulation is gone in the remaster, and so we just run to him and hope that we get good luck in the dice game. Tai-Ho can't immediately end the game with his rolls, an interesting fact that a lot of people don't realize. He can't roll any triples, he can't roll 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6. Now, Gaspar can, when you play the dice game against him later, he can end the game in one roll without the player having a roll, but Tai-Ho can't. He's scripted to make sure that the player always gets a roll, so he can't end the game. So you're hoping that Tai-Ho rolls a number, ideally a low number, on his first roll, and then in your first roll, you're hoping that you roll a winning number. Aim for the middle of the bowl, by the way. We've done the calculations, and you've got a better chance of actually rolling something positive if you aim for the middle of the bowl rather than the sides. So we hope for a reasonably quick Tai-Ho. Zombie Dragon, again, we're just hoping for crits and ideally a cheeky lightning orb drop, because that makes for a nicer time later on in the run. But it's not a deal breaker. And then we're on to the third of the big three. You know, this fucking wheel, was the reason that Zero, this guy,
Batman scratching at a door. Shit.
looked up if it was possible to manipulate the RNG in the original game in the first place. And it turns out it was, in a big way that was to influence a lot of how we speedrun the game. But the fact that this wheel is so horrible and it can take so much time to get through it was what caused him to say, do you know what, fuck it, I'm reverse engineering this and finding out if there's a way to cheat it. And it turns out there is. But once again, not in the remaster. So we just have to throw attempts at the wheel and hope that it's kind. And then sometimes this happens. Nope. There we go. Well, yeah, no, that's not good enough. That's a dead run, sadly. Yeah, time to start again. So we move on to my next attempt. After, of course, several attempts thrown at the early game that died either to Gollum or Varkas and Sidonia, or Cleo not getting the magic she needed off of Varkas and Sidonia, or too many snail fights up Mount Tigerwolf, or spending minutes and minutes looking for the kobold fight, or Tai-Ho refusing to let me win the dice game. The next run I managed to punch through all of that. I got to the zombie dragon about 10 seconds ahead of PB, so not quite the pace I needed for world record, but I knew there was enough time saved later in the game, and we got through all that horrible early game stuff on a reasonable enough pace that I thought it was worth continuing. And then I got this zombie dragon fight. Nice crit. Nice crit. beautiful crit. Oh, Victor, you beast! Might go down to the flaming arrows here, which would be kind of insane. Nope. Really, really good zombie dragon fight. Wow. Definitely, that's the best zombie dragon fight I've had since running the remaster for sure. Yeah, so we're really just hoping for a lot of crits on the zombie dragon fight. That's really the only way to like speed it up. When Victor crits, he hits big. When McDowell crits, he hits medium. And when Gremio crits, he crits a slightly smaller medium. But mainly we're hoping for Victor to A, not miss, and B, crit a lot, and then we throw all Cleo's magic at it, and the length of that fight can vary by a couple of turns. And so you can see I got my best zombie dragon fight ever, so I was feeling really good going into the wheel. It's actually surprisingly possible to get through this house without any encounters in the remaster. I've done it several times, so 2 encounters feels a little annoying now, but right, come on, wheel. Looks good. Oh my god. Fuck yeah. Okay, right, we're on. We officially have a run on our hands. Isn't that just the most wonderful thing you've ever seen? Feels so good when that happens. So I split as we leave the house to find that we're a minute and a half in the green here. Comfortable world record pace. And we're through the big three. The big three were the kobolds, Taiho, and wheel. Just gotta keep it going and not screw it up. Next, we've got the whole elves section. We do some rune switching, we run through Vault, throw a bunch of spells at Gigantes. There's not any huge RNG checks here. It's mostly just about how many encounters we see. We've then got the Quander war fight. Now, in the Quander war fight, he's scripted to do Quander's charge turn 1, so you can always use magic turn 1 to beat him in the rock, paper, scissors game, and that's guaranteed. And then he has a pool of 5 options. One of them is a magic attack. And so if you just take a chance and throw a charge at him, there's a 1 in 5 chance that he uses magic and owns you. The fight is still winnable from that point if that happens, but you have to get pretty lucky. So for that reason, I choose to use Thieves, which has a chance to tell us what he's going to use next time. This time, Kryn comes back and says he's going to use a bow attack. Now, this is the best of the outcomes. When he's going to use bow, you then juice up your charge with Matthew's strategist ability, and then you throw that charge at him when he's using bow on turn 2, and that's guaranteed to always finish the fight turn 2. That's guaranteed to always finish the fight turn 2. So then I'm on real good pace heading into Quander's Fortress of Panu-Yakuta, about to rock up to the dragon fight, which there isn't really a huge amount of variance. You're hoping for crits, but you have Kirkus throw a shredding at it, Valeria throw a falcon rune at it, and just attack, hope for crits. There's not too much variance there, maybe a turn or 2, but it doesn't really add up to that much. However, on the way, this happens. Gremio can stay on the front. Yeah, and thinking about it, I actually knew that from any percent in the OG. It just really didn't look like it. Oh, don't do it to me, please. No. You fucking pricks. Are you actually joking me? Don't do this, please. I can't bribe him. I don't have money. This is fucking bullshit, man. Fuck you. No, that's the wrong way. Am I just... Ah! No, I can't medicine... Oh, this is pissing me right off. Wow. That was absolutely fucking disgusting. Never had that happen before. That's tough to watch. Fucking calm down, man. It's only a game. It is hard to see a run just fall like that, though. But we got through it. It is, when you're on such a good pace, it's hard to have that happen and like deal with it in a calm and collected way. But we got through it. I'd fumbled over whether I should try and heal people with medicine or run back to the woman who lets you rest. Just a horrible, horrible time loss. But we got through it. We got out the other side of Quander. And we'd lost exactly 1 minute, which is less than I thought we were going to lose, to be honest. Still 55 seconds in the green, having got through all of the early game nonsense. Worth continuing, so we do. Next we have a couple of quite long segments that I don't have a huge amount to say about, and that's the whole Flick comes and joins you, and then you get the whole Milik section, Sonia with, spoilers, Gremio's death, and then Pan fights Tio, which, again, we're in any percent, and we haven't leveled up Pan at all since the early game, so that fight doesn't go well for Pan, but it's all part of the plan. There might be some time won or lost here and there depending on how many encounters you see throughout the dungeons and the world map walks, but at this point we have Stallion, and in the remasters, Stallion guarantees your escape from every encounter. So that's a nice thing, and it kind of evens out any variance from failed escapes and stuff like that. So there's nothing fancy going on for these next sections, you just charge through them, Pan dies to Tio, you then go and do the whole Fire Spears thing, and then here in the secret factory, I'm faced with the decision about whether to recruit Kage/Cage or not. Now the reason I would is because the ninjas are really, really useful. Now that we can't RNG manip the war fights anymore, knowing what the enemy's going to do is obviously huge, and trying to guess and potentially losing a run to the enemy doing magic when you choose to charge or something, that's a risk that I'd rather not take. But I haven't rooted in Kage recruitment here. We get Kasumi as default. I have rooted in Fuma recruitment later, so we have 2 ninjas, and I think that'll be enough. I think that will be enough. So I don't spend 20k recruiting him. We then put on a little bit of armor that I picked up in Scarlet Ishia Castle for the Tio duel, and then it's on to the Necklord segment. Now, in my PB that I'm comparing against, the Necklord segment was pretty horrible. I've got quite a lot of time save potential here, because you need to take a couple of level up fights in this section, and in PB I was running around for ages trying to find these fights, and was a huge time loss. So going into Necklord already being in the green was great. After having found a nice juicy level up fight or 2 in Cave of the Past, we pick up Champion's Crystal to put it on Victor. That's the nice thing about not having Holy Crystal in the game anymore. We don't have to have Victor be the Holy Rune bearer, so we can dash all the time. We can just dash anyway. So Victor can have the Champion's Rune for the rest of the game. Then we move on to Necklord's Castle. Hicks forces his company upon us, which is not ideal, but it's just part of what you have to deal with. So then we run through, look for a couple of nice juicy level up fights, which we get decently, and we exit Necklord's Castle with minus 2 minutes 41 on the clock. Feels good, man. We then have the whole dragon section, which is really just a lot of running through dungeons and hoping not to get trapped by encounters. But now we've got triple battle speed, or 4x battle speed, or the bonus extra battle speed you get after you have Stallion in your army. We can just turn on maximum battle speed and throw hell at things if they're being really difficult, which I should remember. Anyway, we get through Dragon's Den and Seek Valley, and then as long as you get to the Crystal Core boss with everyone still alive, it's trivial. Just throw earthquakes at it and some attacks, and it's done. The next section is Moravia, which does have a bit of variance because we want to find some nice level up fights to get Tengar some decent levels, and McDowell really. The hope being that McDowell hits 144 magic, which gives him 2 level 4 spells, so 2 judgments. We'd really like those for Sonia, the Sonia Shulen boss fight, because if he only has 1 judgment for that fight, it can get pretty spicy. If she spams that AoE water spell, it's really, really nasty, and I've lost runs there before. And that deep into the run, that stings. Sadly, we don't get anywhere close to the magic we need, so we're going into the Sonya section with only 1 judgment on McDowell, which is always a bit scary. So now moving on to the Sonya war fight. So you can always use dragons turn 1, which is handy because dragons take out 25% of the enemy's remaining HP, so using it turn 1 is always best. After that, we need to use ninjas, and I only have 2 ninjas. I didn't recruit Kage earlier, as you remember. We need to use ninjas to find out if we can safely throw magic at her or not, or if she's going to use a bow, then we throw a charge. And short of some really bad luck, we usually get through this war fight okay. Then you run through the dungeon. We've usually got enough money to bribe fights if we need to. We can always throw a triple speed hell at them, or just try and escape. The encounters aren't too much of a problem in Sonia's dungeon. You then get to the random clam that Sonia keeps around to guard the gate in her fortress. Sure. And we throw a bunch of powerful lightning magic and a couple of earthquakes at it, and it goes down without too much trouble. Then on the way out, we have the Sonya fight. Now this is a pretty dicey fight, because again, and this is the last time I'll say this, in the original we can manip things and we control exactly what the enemies are going to do in fights. In this version, we don't, and so she can just spam that horrible AoE water spell, and if she does that 2 turns in a row, it's not a full party wipe. McDowell usually survives, and, you know, one other person might usually survive, but it makes for a real hairy situation. So we're really hoping to not see that horrible spell turn 1. Nice turn 1 from Sonya there. But yeah, McDowell does not outspeed. And we only have 1 judgment. Just really bad stats on McDowell all around. So far, so good. But because we don't have 2 judgments, we know this fight's going to go to a 3rd turn, and McDowell doesn't outspeed her, so he's not going to get his attack in before hers. So she is going to get 3 attacks off. Shit. Fuck it, attack. Or actually, no, heal Cleo. If there's any chance Cleo survives this next turn, it'd be good to keep her alive. Earthquake, and lightning ball, and lightning ball. Nope. Never mind, well, presumably Victor will now heal someone random? No. Oh my god, why do I keep changing the speed? Oh god. Glen Shield, please. Yeah, I lost 46.8 seconds. I thought we were going to lose a fair bit of time there. And that was not a good Sonya fight. But we did it. We made it. A lot of people died, but it's fine. It got a bit spicy, but yeah, it's fine. We move on. We're still 2 minutes in the green, so on to the final battle at Gregminster. Now, my strategy for the Yuba war fight is a bit risky and a bit silly for this late in the game. Basically, we've got no guarantee of what he's going to do turn 1. The only scripted turn for this Yuba war fight is turn 3, where he uses Yuba's charge. So we can safely use magic on turn 3. So my strategy is I just throw dragons at him turn 1 and hope that he doesn't use bow. Because bow beats the dragons. He's got, I think, about a 20% chance of using bow. I think it's 1 in 5. And if it happens turn 1, then the dragons get shot down, and we're in a real dicey situation this late in the run. But it's quite a low chance, so doesn't really happen too often. No way, woof. Still says that in our hearts. Alright, no bow. Of course. So then we use ninjas turn 2 to find out what they're going to do. Fine. Turn 3 is scripted, that's Yuba's charge, so we can safely use magic. We then use ninjas again turn 4, find out what they're going to do, fine. And now we're out of ninjas, so we just throw charges at him and hope for the best. Suikoden 5, 108%. God damn. That's a big ask. It's like a 13-hour run or some shit. Alright, throw charges at him and hope for the best. Fuck. Glen Shield, no. He was injured. We might actually lose. Who was it who said we were going to lose to this fight? Xenomorphica, I think. We might actually lose here. Did Taggart die? I didn't see. Wait, the merchants? No, thieves. Brilliant, thanks, Kryn. Fucking dickhead. Yeah, we're gonna lose. Well, that confirms it. We got to recruit Kage. Oh, boy. So back to the start we go. So I'll spare you the details of all the runs I threw at the early game to try and get a good start from Magician's Island and Varkas and Sidonia and then the stupid snail gauntlet up Mount Tiger Wolf and all of that. And we'll start this next attempt from the big three. First of which, as you remember if you've been listening, is grinding for the kobold fight. So on this run, if you look at the splits, we've done the Odessa death split, which is called a woman's death for some reason. Someone in chat named it that, I don't know why. But if you look at that split, we had a really good time on the snail gauntlet, so things are looking up, but we can't get excited until we get out the other side of the big three. The big three are the real gatekeepers. So let's see how the kobolds went. Oh, I dared to dream that like 2 steps it was gonna happen. Would have been magical. Hey. Pause. Now, why am I so excited? That was a decent kobolds. 3rd try, like 3rd encounter. We saw them, and you know, that's pretty quick. We saved a decent amount of time. Does it warrant a face that excited though? What else was there about this split? Something super rare that never happens. Well, if you've been paying the undivided attention that I require, you will know that there is a magic threshold for Cleo here that only has a very low percentage chance of ever hitting, to the point where we don't reasonably expect it to happen in a run. To hit 91 magic is about 2.3, I think, if I remember correctly, % chance of happening. Let's just rewind that back and see what magic she got here. That's a 92. As far as ChatGPT, who I don't really know how much I trust them to do complex maths, plus someone in chat who seems to be good at this kind of maths, the best we could work out, the chance of hitting 92 magic is about 0.6%. Now, the extra magic point on top of 91 doesn't really mean anything. 91 is the threshold, but she has 2 dancing flames here. We've just got a really strong early game, really good Mount Tiger Wolf through the snail section, really nice quick kobolds, and an insane luck roll on Cleo's magic stat, which means we're gonna now have an incredibly fast zombie dragon if we can get there through Taiho. 92! No fucking way! Taiho, please. We have 2 dancing flames. 92 magic. Off of fucking 58. She just got 34 magic off that kobold fight. We've never even been able to manip that much. That's the most insane Cleo magic luck I've ever seen. Taiho, please. Please don't ruin this for me, man. Yeah. That's crazy. I've never wanted Taiho to cooperate more in my life. Nah. Okay. Ah. Yes! Pretty good. Not perfect. Taiho took 2 rolls and then I took 2 rolls rather than 1 and 1. But still, that's pretty good. That's a time gain over PB still. So now I'm starting to get really excited about this run. Now we've obviously got a load of extra damage, a load of extra firepower available to us with that extra dancing flames on Cleo. But we're still hoping for a decent amount of crits on the zombie dragon. So let's see how it went. Look at that, 2 dancing flames. Incredible stuff. And the, oh my god, and a double crit. Triple crit, I mean, the blessings just keep coming. Apart from that, that's not great. Crits, man. Unbelievable. It's probably going to go down here. Nope. Here then, surely. And the lightning orb. Oh my god. Right, wheel. Oh my god, I've never wanted first try wheel more in my life. It went really well. Okay, this run is starting to get exciting, but my rule is we can't start to get excited before we're through all 3 of the big 3. We're through 2 of them, and you heard me say I've never wanted first try wheel more in my life. Is this truly the God run? Or was it a false prophet all along? Looks good. Oh my god, it's blessed. This run is literally fucking consecrated. Is that the right word? I think so. I'm still not entirely sure, but it doesn't matter. The most insane run ever. This is it. This is the God run. We're through the big 3 on an insane pace. Now next up, as you know, we have the elves section, and I've actually cut an encounter here. I was taking a level up fight in Vault and then grinding for that level up fight if I didn't see it naturally through the course of me running through the dungeon, but I worked out that I didn't need that, so I cut that out, which actually ended up to be a bit of a time save. And so by the time we fought Gigantes, we also have the lightning crystal, which is a time save because we can put that on Cleo and then she can throw raging blows at it instead of shreddings, which kills it quicker. So overall, we had a decent amount of time save on Gigantes as well. Take a look. Huge. Huge indeed. 3 minutes 22 ahead of PB. I didn't know that it was possible. I wouldn't have said it was possible to be this far ahead of PB at this point. And this isn't, we're not even at the biggest point of time save I have in the run. That's Necklord's Castle. So we stand to be 5, 6, 7 minutes ahead of PB here by the end, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Coming up next, we've got the Panayakuta section with the Quander war fight and then the dragon, and hopefully I won't get an annoying shield encounter this time. Before we get there, we've obviously got the Quander war fight. Once again, we can safely throw magic turn 1. We use the thieves to see what they're going to do turn 2, and it's bow, which, as I said last time, is the best of the options. So we throw Matthew's strategist's ability onto our charge, throw that at the bow, as I said last time, guaranteed. Bow attack, nice. Could have got away with doing that without thieves, but I'm not fucking around with that 20%. Oh, that is actually really good information to have. So actually, I think I can safely... Are you serious? I don't know. What the fuck? We're never gonna get a run that good again. Yeah, womp fucking womp. It still hurts. That run. It was blessed. And it got taken away from us by a statistical anomaly. It's supposed to be guaranteed. It's never failed. A strategist's charge against Bo, Quander turn 2. In all my years of speedrunning. Granted, a lot of them it was RNG manip, so it was guaranteed in that sense. But I've done it a lot on the remaster as well. It's never not killed him. It's never not finished it off. Anyway, let's not relive that heartache for too long. We gotta get back to it. As I said, we're never gonna get a run that good again. On to the next run. So, I'll spare you the build up to each bit. This is how each section went. Ugh. Brilliant. 1. Fuck off. 2. With a failed escape. I should just kill these soldier ants, man. Please, buddy. Just go fuck yourself. I'm not killing you. What a prick. Single ants around. There's one thing getting surrounded by a single snail. A single fucking ant. Alright, 6 kobolds. 6 kobolds immediately would be amazing. I would love to see it. Oh, again, we got the right number, but the wrong enemy. Can we, yes. Alright. Alright, we could be on here. Sadly, no god magic from Cleo, but we shouldn't, just because we got it that one time. Let's not come to just expect miracles here, but we're 45 seconds in the green at kobolds. We'll absolutely take that. Nice! That's the best first roll Taiho can do. That's not a very good roll from us, but keep throwing it in the middle, and we draw. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, please. Ah, 4. No. My hopes were really high when he rolled that 1. First turn 1, game 1. There's another 1. Quack. Alright. We're in the fucking red again. 13 seconds in the red. It makes me sad. Alright. Top tier good wheel needed, or GTFO. Or we're sacking this off and playing Time Guesser. Get the counter orb. No encounters, we love that. Nope. Ah. No. Quack. A lot of ducks in this mechanism. powered by ducks. Makes a lot of sense. Perfectly in line with Lepant and Juppo's logical reasoning. That looks like it. Right, well, that wasn't very good. What was that? 5th try, but no monsters? If we're not in the green by wheel, then I feel like we really just... Oh, man. Fine. So we've made it through the big 3. Not in a particularly inspiring fashion, but we're about in line with PB, so at this point I'm not resetting, so let's just carry on. Now over the next few splits, Gigantes, Quander, Milik, and then Tio. We build back some time, we're about 45 seconds ahead of PB at Milik, and then we lose a little bit at Tio Death, but overall we're about 30 seconds or so ahead of PB going into Necklord's Castle, which is, you know, not what the God Run could have been, but we're heading into Necklord's Castle, which is our biggest time save, and we're ahead of PB already, so we'll take that. Right, nice big group of 5, please. Would be lovely. Thank you. The encounters we need appear immediately. Necklord Split goes pretty well. We gain about 1:45 and we end up over 2 minutes ahead of PB. Next up is Dragons. And as I said, Dragon's Den and Seek Valley, it's mostly about just not getting trapped in horrible encounters. But if you do, you know, you just escape and then like just make sure you're healed up by the time you hit Crystal Core and then everything will be fine. Oh, come on, no. Don't do this to me, man. Bro. No, I was... Are you serious? This is how the run dies? I was already in the space for the... I was already in the trigger zone for this encounter. Now, obviously, I should have just bribed that stupid wyvern fight, but in my head, I don't have money to just throw away there. I need to save up for bribes in Sonya's dungeon, but actually, I probably did have the money to just throw at it and make it go away. Or if I was gonna give in and fight it, I have, like, it's one enemy. I could have just used Deadly Fingertips and just done it on, like, triple speed and it would have been fine. There are things, I had options, but in the moment, I just didn't think of them, and I was just like, surely it will let me run away. Surely it's not going to make me fail another run. It's a coin flip, by the way. It's 50-50, but it's very slightly off from 50-50, but it's essentially a 50-50 coin flip for each encounter as to whether you escape. And that was 6 in a row. And something I didn't realize, which is why the urgency of making sure that we escape didn't quite occur to me, was because I thought that after the fight I'd be able to heal people, I'd be able to open up the menu and throw some medicine about, but we were already in the trigger zone for the Crystal Core fight. Luke had 5 HP, and if he had taken one more hit, He already had gone through a sacrificial Buddha and revived after being killed once, and he had 5 HP, and if Luke was down, we'd have had none of those earthquakes of Voice of Earth, and the run would definitely have been dead. I thought the run was dead when the Crystal Core fight started, but I thought, well, let's just try. We lost a minute there, but we're still a minute ahead of PB, still on world record pace. At this point in the run, we gotta continue. We took a couple of fights in Moravia. Actually, I only ended up taking one fight in Moravia, which means that Tengar's magic wasn't where it needed to be. And nor was Mcdowell's, obviously. Mcdowell getting 2 judgments by Sonya is a nice dream to have, but it never seems to happen. So Tengar was 1 level 4 spell short, as was Mcdowell going into Sonya. We did the Shell Venus, and it threw an AoE spell at us, which meant that we were a bit hurt, so I took some time to use some medicine on people before the Sonya fight, which is a bit of time loss. And then the Sonya fight went like this. Just single target turn 1, please. Thank you. Okay, we should be okay. Yeah, great. Why did I have Victor attack? That was really dumb. Because now she might kill Luke if she targets him. Don't magic again. Oh, you fucking bitch. No! Please. Please. Oh my god. God, this game is just not having it. The game hates me this run. The game wants this run to die. It is clear to me at this point. So that was rough. But somehow we didn't lose any time. I guess my Sonya split at PB wasn't very good either. So we're still a minute and a half ahead going into the final war fight. And this time, I recruited Kage. So I have 3 ninjas to use against this final war fight now. So hopefully it should go better. And I elect to use one of them turn 1 so that I'm not risking throwing dragons into a bow again. Nope. A charge attack. Okay, great. A charge attack. Now we know he does Yuba's charge turn 3. Final ninjas. Sick ninja tech, bruh. A magic attack, alright. Then we will send the wobbly arrows at them. Fuck off. Really? Glenshield, no. Glenshield died in battle. Oh shit. Oh my god, get them, please. No, really? Are you shitting me? Jesus Christ. That was awful. Even with an extra ninjas. Yeah, I still don't know if just risking the dragons turn 1 is the right play there, or doing one of the ninjas turn 1. I don't know, but it wasn't a very good war fight, but we got through it, and now onto the Ain Guide fight, which is pretty trivial, really. You just throw all your magic at him. The issue I'm having is that Tengar's magic is bad because we didn't take the fights we needed in Moravia. We just didn't see them, and I didn't want to run around trying to force them for ages. And so Tengar is short on magic, and so I'm really hoping that we beat Ain Guide, and then we run into Gregminster Palace, we beat one of the forced soldier fights, and then we run out to rest to restore everyone's magic. That's the plan. So I'm hoping by the time we do that, Tengar will have enough magic for 4 level 4 spells, 4 earthquakes. Oh, she has 3, There's 3 level 4 spells now. I feel like after this and after the first soldier fight, because that's when we run back to rest in Rockland, she should be good. Whack. Magic's only at 175. Oh, we didn't lose that much time. I guess my war fight fucking sucked in PB as well. Yeah, I guess it did. So I noted that Tengar's only on 175 magic there. She also doesn't have her Earth Rune yet. She will. I'll give her an Earth Rune. The threshold for getting 4 level 4 spells is 184. Technically it's 169, but she has an item that boosts her magic stat by 15. All that does is boost the power of her magic. That doesn't affect the number of spells that get unlocked. So the stat that we need to see on her to get 4 level 4 spells is 184. No? Good. Of course. Well, nothing else for it. We've got to just plow on. Tengar's only going to have 3 earthquakes. We'll have to just try and make the Barbarossa fight work. Improvise some extra damage from somewhere. Let's see. So we run out of Gregminster, rest at Rockland. We're back to Gregminster. Equip the Earth Rune on Tengar. Make sure everyone has a couple of sacrificial Buddhas each, so in case they go down, they pop back up. We'd plow through a load of forced soldier fights. Flick has the Cyclone Rune, so he's using Storm. With triple speed, we can use Hell without wasting too much time, because that's a slow animation, but with the super fast battle speed, it doesn't really matter that much, so we throw Storm at them, we throw Hell at them, we use some Rune Unites, we use any extra Earthquakes on Luke. The last couple, we have to use double Voice of Earth, but that's fine. Get through all the soldier fights, there's not really much to say about that. We arrive at Barbarossa, and this fight is usually pretty trivial, because no one's going to die who shouldn't, really, because everyone's got 2 sacrificial Buddhas on them, so that's taken care of. If everyone has the magic they need, at the end of turn 4, all 3 heads die at the same time, and that's just how that fight goes. But not everyone does have all the magic they need. Tengar is missing an earthquake, and that could potentially mean the fight goes on for a turn longer, and if the bottommost head is the one that survives, that one can revive the other 2. Well, it went like this. Nice crit. Yeah, these attacks with Victor that I'm doing are not usually part of the strategy. They're just to try and make up some damage that I know I'm going to be missing. Usually Victor's just dead weight in this fight. He's just a forced party member. Oh my god, you'd think I'd know how to do this fucking menu by now. Now our Cyclone Rune Bearer, in this case it's Flick, after the first 3 turns of throwing shreddings at the middle head, because the middle head is the one that's resistant to Earth, so it's taking only half damage from all these earthquakes we're throwing at it, so we need to make up damage on that middle head, which is why we've thrown both judgments at it and 3 rounds of shredding. Turn 3 he usually doesn't need to do anything, but I know we're going to be missing a bunch of damage, so I throw a Storm. Now the middle head and the uppermost head will take damage from that, but the lowermost head won't. Now, Victor crit that head earlier, and I've had him attack that head again this final turn, so I'm hoping that all that's going to be enough to make up for damage on the missing earthquake, and this isn't going to go an extra turn, and most importantly, that head that revives people is not going to be left alive to revive any heads that we do manage to take out. Right, do we get the kill here? I'm not sure. Yes. So there we go, 45 seconds ahead of PB. It's not quite over yet. We have to run out of Gregminster Palace, and there's encounters you can see along the way, but we're all full of money at this point, so if we do see any encounters, we can just bribe them. We don't see any encounters, and then you just mash through to the end. Thanks for the GGs. $248.56. So there we go. Beat my PB by 47 seconds. Beat the world record by 28 seconds. Not the time I hoped for, but it's the time I got. And as you can see, there's still plenty of time left to save. Should I go for it? Or should you go for it? Anyone can do this. Game's on Steam now. Game's on modern consoles now. There's an open invite for anyone who wants to put themselves through this, which I don't know why anyone would, but if you fancy it, there's time left to save on the world record. Anyway, I'm sure I'll keep grinding. I'm definitely going to be going back to the original at some point because there's still more stuff I want to do there. I'm going to be doing some other categories in the remaster. I've also been running Suikoden 2 remaster. If you want to catch some of this live, jump over to my Twitch channel. I'm streaming there all the time. Anyway, that's it for this video on how I got the world record in that category. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe see you over on Twitch, but otherwise, I'll see you next time right here. Cheers. Please. Single snail surround, man. Fucking bullshit.